Weeks since Kenya was stripped of the right to host the 2018 African Nations Cup due to political reasons. But was it really political reasons? We tackle everything surrounding the African Nations Cup 2018 that Kenya was supposed to host in this week's edition of Behind the Headlines.
Now, 13 members shy.
A drive around most of the neighborhoods in Nairobi will at some point lead you to a dusty playing ground with tens of football players kicking a ball around, some just for the fun of it, while it's still a path to a bright future to others. Despite the poor governance and the lackluster performance by the national team Harambee Stars, football still remains the most popular sport in the country. In the outskirts of Kibra, a 2-year-old boy is among players who are at the Woodley grounds for Monday evening friendly match. New York Cosmos and Harambee Stars defender David Cheche Ochieng is among the current generation of players who started their football careers here. Soccer talent FC Alan Barlow hopes to follow in David Ochieng's footsteps to play football abroad, but that dream shrinks with each sunset.
In Kenya, it's the same thing, it's corruption and everything else. So you find out that we were told we are going to have stadiums. We're supposed to host CHAN and we can't host it right now because of the governance.
Barlow represents many other football players who feel disappointed after the withdrawal of Kenya's rights to host the African Nations Cup CHAN. But before getting carried away by the September 24th events in Accra, Ghana, let's go back to how Kenya was awarded the rights to host the African Nations Championships on Friday, 21st of February 2014 in Cairo, Egypt, during a Confederation of African Football executive meeting.
I made an application for CHAN, although I already earlier on made an application for AFCON, which of course I was supported by government. When they said they are not going to give us AFCON, then I now tried to venture into CHAN. Made the applications, came and told my government, came and told the minister. I informed the whole government system, and they gave me a green light. So we applied for CHAN. We went for the interviews. And I think CAF, with its wisdom, decided to assist Kenya to get CHAN, even without going through all the necessary bidding.
The former FKF president, Mr. Sammy Amoys, was in very good books with the former CAF president, Isaiah too. Basically, this was like a friendship thing, telling him, giving it to Kenya just like a word of thanks, because they were like, if as long we are not going to embarrass us the way you did it in 1996, then we are good to go. You can have it and we proceed with it.
The former Football Kenya Federation President Sammy Amoys took the hosting rights in extremely good spirits. It signaled renewed hope in football at a time it all looked gloomy on the pitch and in administration. The office was struggling with diminished goodwill from football stakeholders. But how did the former office plan to go around the CHAN preparations, we ask Sammy Amoys.
We came up with a local organizing committee. Very quickly, local organizing committee composed of sports administrators. The government and everybody felt I should be the chairman of the local organizing committee because this is a very big event. On top of that, we had people from government. After appointing the local organizing committee, I expected the minister to gazette that local organizing committee. Then we can run with it. Even before gazettement, I can frankly tell you that we had several meetings with the local organizing committee, and we had laid down all the necessary requirements so that we are not caught up with time.
When you come to office and the previous office has lost 2 years, how do you recover the 2 years? Those that have been lost. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the going concern was, immediately we came in April, we brought in the CAF team, and we started to work. That's what I can tell you we did. So what was done in the other 2 years, if it's a debt, for example, we are paying those debts. That's going concern. But if it's time that was lost, how would I recover it? We can't recover it.
Their well-elaborate plans, on paper that is, came to an end on 10th of February 2016 when Sammy Amoys withdrew his presidential candidature just a few hours before the commencement of the FKF elections that saw Nick Mwendwa elected president.
As Secretary General of SECAFA, and now as the first president of KF, and the record is there for all to see. But there comes a time to make critical decisions. That time, dear friends, has come, and I have to make a call to hand over active leadership of football and oversee a smooth transition.
In his withdrawal speech, Nyamoya pledged to oversee a smooth transition. So was Chan part of the transition? Did the former office ever get to sit and talk about Chan plans?
When the young man took over, because Nick Mwendwa he worked with me. He was my transfer manager. Because of the country, I love this country. I undertook and told him, even the minister, that even if I'm leaving it, I'm already prepared to assist as much as possible. But you know, assisting is two-way. You cannot wake up and, can I assist you if someone is not ready to be assisted? So I told them that if they have any problem, let them come to me so that I can assist them.
The point at which we lost Chan is when there were fresh elections. Of course, the current federation, it came in with a very, very nice goodwill, but immediately they came in, there was a fight. There was a fight between them and the former federation led by Sammy Amoys. And remember, Sammy Amoys was a man who was handled all the instruments of hosting Chan. So the current federation, what they should have done is to sit down with the former federation and tell them exactly how did where did you reach with the organization of CAF? What are some of the things that we need to do? But they never did. They were fighting each other. So there was so much confusion. So looking at it well, at that particular point, we lost it. So for things to come and happen later, it was just basically, our own mistake, because even the lobbying was poor, because we have to blame the government, yes, but does the government know the program of football? It does not know the timetable of football. It was upon the federation and the LOC to lobby properly, but they started it late. At that point, we had completely lost it. And even Kenyans could see, and even the layman will see, like, this game, this tournament is not going to be held in Kenya.
When Nick Mwendwa took over football management, his team, popularly referred to as Team Change, then was expected to bring about a wind of change.
Since the new Football Kenya Federation came into office, there were some changes, and people started having that hope that maybe we might see Kenya improving in football. And
but
people,
then that hope hasn't come to reality.
It hasn't. That's sad indeed.
Fast forward to the year 2017, and one of the failures that Team Change will carry with them is the withdrawal of hosting rights for a tournament that was eagerly awaited.
I was happy about hearing that Kenya is going to host Chan. So we're just waiting. We're just eagerly waiting to host the tournament and to have these different local players come and play and represent our country in the tournament.
But where did Kenya go wrong, and why did the Confederation of the African Football find Kenya unfit to host the tournament during an Excon meeting held on 24th of September in Accra, Ghana?
The decision was made that due to many reasons, key being political situation, they are not going to take the chance to host Chan here.
Kwa hiyo sababu moja kubwa, sababu ziko nyingi. Kwa hiyo sababu moja kubwa waliona ni heri wape nchi nyingine hiyo nafasi ya kuhost Chan.
The 1st of September Supreme Court ruling that ordered for a fresh presidential elections had seen a Confederation of African Football cancel a scheduled inspection, instead sending its Vice President Constance Omari to assess the political situation.
Maswali yake yote ilikuwa ni kama Kenya itakuwepo na uwezo kisiasa bila shida yoyote mwezi Januari kufanya CHAN. Ndio walikuwa wanataka kujua.
The inspection would, however, take place a week later to have a look at the facilities that painted a picture of unpreparedness. The CAF delegation did not address the media as earlier promised. Still, FKF President Nick Mwendwa remained confident.
CAF na wajua, wale ni watu niliokuwa nao mwaka moja na nusu sasa. Tunajuana vizuri, tumepiga kura pamoja, tunafanya siasa pamoja. Wanataka kuja Kenya. Kama hawangekuwa wataki, wangeshatoka. Nakwambia wangeshatoka mwezi wa 4, mwezi wa 5.
As a sports permanent secretary, Peter Kaberia, who led the Kenya delegation to the CAF Excon meeting, addressed the media upon arrival from Accra. He would find himself on the receiving end due to utterances he made about Kenya having hotels and airports ready for CHAN, but not the stadiums.
We had to ensure that the hospitality part is in place, the infrastructure, other supporting infrastructure. Now, if you take the pitch is just one of them. The stadia is another. But we have the hospitals, we have the hotels and all this, and trying to put together all that infrastructure and make sure it is in order.
We seek to find out what he really meant.
I was saying we have all these other things, and even went to an extent of trying to explain that if you take, for instance, places like Meru, we had the new airport, which had been opened, which was operational, which made it a lot easier for us to transport both players and spectators and officials between Nairobi and there.
But then there was nowhere to play.
And that was my point, that at this stage of development, all those other things have reached their completion, but we are now on the last leg of preparing the actual venue.
With the political situation coming out as the sole reason why Kenya was stripped of its rights, highlights of the CAF Excon meeting published on the official website clearly outlined accumulated delays as the reasons for the withdrawal of rights.
It is one thing to deny it and say, oh no, for this one, it was purely because of the stadia. It is not true. I think there is also a consideration as to what international organizations can say in the open and what they can't say. Because for me, as the leader of delegation, I demanded to meet with the president of CAF. And what I'm saying, what I have been saying, is what he told me.
I can tell you without fear or contradiction, that's a big lie. CAF did not award Kenya or withdrew because the facilities were not ready. Period. There is no political situation here which people cannot play. We don't have the what's wrong with any political situation here.
Talk about politics in the country. It is a scapegoat.
There he does. Here's a chance to get through to the final. Charles Basuma.
Behind the headlines takes a short break, but when we come back, we talk Kenya's failures while looking at Rwanda's 2016 CHAN success.
Strikes for the